Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It is Christian here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. So today we are going to be doing something so fun, so exciting. So this morning I went to Sephora like I so often do, and guess what, you guys? Guess what they had? They had the new Sephora Pro eyeshadow palette. Now, my Sephora did have all three available, but the cool, I forget what the other one's called, the vibrant one, and the warm one. Of course, I did in fact pick up the warm one because we're also going to be swatching it, and we are going to be comparing it to the Natasha Denona Sunset palette today. So my full face of makeup is on. I do not have any eyeshadow. The reason why I'm not wearing any eyeshadow is because we're going to be testing these out on my eyes today. I have never tried the Sephora Pro formula before, you guys. I'm so excited. The first thing that I can tell you, I have not even opened this. I have not swatched it, but this guy is heavy, you guys. It does retail for $68, which I'm not gonna lie, when I heard about that price, I was kind of like, what, $68 for a Sephora eyeshadow palette? But it does also come with 28 shades. If I do like the formulation of this one, you guys, I will definitely be picking up the cool tone one because that one looked beautiful as well. I haven't swatched it yet. I haven't played with it yet. I literally just bought this today, you guys. So the girl in Sephora was a little bit of a deeper complexion. She swatched some of them for me. No primer. She literally like did one small swipe. Full pigment. It looked beautiful on her more chocolatey skin tone. So I have no doubt that this is going to perform beautifully. Well, I hope it performs beautifully because it is very, very expensive. Before we get into swatches, before we get into playing with this guy, I just quickly want to say, if you are new to my channel, you guys, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you do not mind, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. I post 3 to 4 times a week here on my channel, and I would love, love, love to have you as part of my little family. And if you are not new to my channel, you guys, welcome back. Thank you for continuing to join and support. And if you guys want to see swatches in comparison of this palette to the Natasha Denona Sunset palette, you guys are definitely in the right place, and you are for sure gonna want to go ahead and just keep on watching. This is what the packaging looks like. As you guys know, I'm obsessed with black and gold. I love black and gold, you guys. If you could not tell by the decorations behind me, black and gold is my absolute favorite. So like I mentioned in the intro, this does retail for $68 and it does have 28 shades. Okay, so the front of the package just looks just like this. Hopefully you guys can see that. Not really picking up very well on camera. There you go. You guys can kind of see what the packaging looks like. And then when you open it up, holy cow, look at this gorgeousness, you guys. This looks beautiful. Look at that. When I first saw this palette online, I immediately thought that it was going to definitely have a lot of similarities to the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. Now the Sunset palette only has 15 shades for $129. This one has 28 shades for $69 or $68. I'm sorry. Let me get this guy open. So here is the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. As you guys can tell, I've definitely been putting this to good use. So when I look at them like side by side, you can definitely see that there are some similarities, but I feel like the Natasha Denona palette looks a lot more vibrant. Like if you just look at the two yellows, the Natasha Denona palette looks a lot more vibrant. And the Sephora palette seems to be a lot more matte, and there's just a sprinkle of shimmers in there. So you guys, I'm so excited. I can't even tell you. Oh, it does have, okay, so it does have an overlay of all of the colors. It must have just fallen out whenever I originally opened it. All of the colors do have names. This is definitely going to be nice, a nice pro palette because it is solid black. It is a material that doesn't look like it will get dirty, and if it does get dirty, it would be super easy to clean. So makeup artists, I feel, would really enjoy this palette. The mirror on here is actually really, really nice as well. Again, excuse my mess. So, oh, and what else do we have in here? Something else must have fallen out. Okay, so when you open the package as well, I must not have seen this. So it kind of gives you a guide. So this is really cool. It highlights a bunch of different colors if you want to create natural eyes, a warm smoky eye, defined smoky eye, and dimensional smoky eye. And then it basically tells you what colors to use for those particular looks, and then it tells you in what order to put those colors on your eye. So that's really nice as well, you guys. So you also get that. I think we're going to go ahead and go in with swatching this particular palette. We'll do it row by row. So it will do 4 rows starting with the top and then going down. The more I look at them, the less I think that there are similar shades in the palettes. I mean, there's a couple in here that I think might work, But like in the Natasha Denona palette, the shades that are shimmer or more of her metallic look like they would be more matte in this formula over here. So just by looking at them, now that I have them both side by side, I don't think that they are dupes for one another. That being said, you could definitely get similar eye looks. Okay, all right guys, so here we have the first row swatched. And let me try to build up some of the lighter colors a little bit more because I do have a couple of shades swatched right here that aren't really showing up. Let me see if I can build those up a little bit. Going from this way down, we have Auburn, we have Saddle, we have Ochre, we have Camel, we have Biscotti, we have Oat, and then we have Canvas, which you cannot really see on camera because they're kind of similar to my skin tone. These swatch beautifully, you guys. There is absolutely no primer on my hand. This was a one swipe. Let me show you guys. So I'm taking it off with the makeup remover. And then, so my arm is not wet. Let me take a dry towel and just kind of wipe it down. So my hand is completely dry now, okay? So let me show you guys exactly what I did in the swatches, just so you can see it live on camera. You can see there is definitely a little bit of powder. Let's take this first swatch here. I just did one of those. That's how the pigment came out on my hand. And then let's swipe it. That is beautiful color, you guys. So let's go ahead and get the second row swatched. Oh wow, you guys, these metallics, I just swatched these two shades, you guys. Look at the metallic shine on my hands. These are beautiful, you guys. Look at that. I absolutely love this row. I love every color in this row, and this pigmentation is stunning, you guys. So we have a sandstone, we have adobe, we have bronze, we have copper, we have clay here, we have brass, and then we have sand. You guys, these are beautiful, absolutely stunning. All right, this is the next row. Again, starting from the top going down, we have chestnut, we have burnt umber, we have terracotta, we have brick, we have peach. Peach is the only one in this row or in this palette so far that I felt like didn't swatch that well. It definitely felt a little bit grittier, and I had to go in a couple of times to get this pigmentation on this particular shade. Then we have khaki and we have hazelnut. So far only one shade upon swatching didn't swatch, in my opinion, that well. All right guys, and this is the final row, super pigmented. Okay, so we have, again, we have obsidian, we have cedar, we have cocoa, we have coconut shell, we have sepia, we have here, we have caramel, and then brown sugar. You can see in this one was a little bit harder to swatch, and then you can also see a little bit that it is not as even. So this one was a little bit harder to build up and a little bit harder to work out. And that one does have a few glitter particles in there. So out of 28 shades, only 2 of them, you guys, only 2 did not swatch beautifully. Now, because I know people take swatches very seriously, we're going to take a couple of shades and we're just going to swatch them with a brush. I'm not going to brush swatch all of them. I'm just going to brush swatch a few so that way you guys can kind of see how they perform with the brush. This is the Morphe E14, and we're going to go into one of the shades I felt like was a little bit harder to finger swatch. We're going to take this shade. I'm just going to go 1, and I'm digging pretty hard, you guys. And then I'm going to go 2. And then you can see it did not pick up very much color on this one. I think it's because this shade is a little bit more glittery. So you can see that not a whole lot of color. So let me go a little bit, let me like really dig in there. So now you guys can see I'm really trying to pick up some color on this swatch. So when I dug in the brush a lot, we definitely got a little bit more color. So it definitely gives a little bit of it's a pretty color, but you have to definitely work with it. I think it's because it's a little bit more of it looks like it has a little bit more of a glitter to it. I mean, it does give off a really beautiful sheen, but I'm not a fan of that particular color, or as far as the swatch. But once you kind of work it into the skin, it is very beautiful. Okay, let's do another one. And my brush is dry, you guys. I'm using my color switch in between colors to see. I'm going 1, 2. Definitely see some of the powder kick up. Okay, so let's swatch. Now, I don't know if you guys saw a lot of the powder that just came back on me. The swatch is absolutely beautiful with the brush, but these shadows are a little bit more powdery. So let's do another one. Let's take this guy right here. So again, I'm going 1, 2. Definitely got some nice pigmentation on the brush on that one. And then let's swipe it across. Look at that. That is gorgeous. All right, let's do another. Let's take this beautiful color right here. We're gonna go 1, 2, and then let's swatch it. So with the brush, that one doesn't swatch as nicely. So once you build it up, you get a really nice color payoff there. Beautiful shade. All right, let's do one more matte with a brush, shall we? Let's do one of the browns down here. So 1, 2, and that gave some really good color. That gave some really good pigmentation there as well. Let's go ahead and swatch that guy. So that also provide pretty decent swatch with the brush as well. Really nice color payoff, color pigmentation. All in all, just on the eyes and swatches and playing with them, you guys, this palette is really beautiful. Let's do an eye look. I'm gonna take my Sephora Pro number 10. We're gonna go in with this shade right here. This is the third on the top row. That blended out beautifully, you guys. No fallout. Even though they feel powdery in the pan, there's no actual fallout, you guys. Now I'm going to take this color, which is the second to last shade in the actual palette itself. And I'm going to take my MAC 217. These blend really nicely, you guys, really easily. So far, I am very impressed with this, you guys. Now we're going to go in with my MAC 221. We're going to take this color right here. This is the second shade in the very bottom row. We're going to take this color on the 221, and we're going to build up the crease a little bit. You guys, these are impressing the heck out of me. I'm going to take this color right here, which is the third color in the second row, and then I'm just going to kind of sandwich that color. So far, these mattes are very impressive, you guys. I think they're really good. Even though they're a little bit powdery in the pan, they are easy to blend, easy to work with, easy to maneuver. I'm into it, you guys. They're pretty. They're nice. Now I just have the original color that I used. The very first color I laid down just to blend out some edges here. I'm going to lay down some Too Faced glitter glue because I always lay down glitter glue whenever I'm going to go in with a shimmery eyeshadow. And then I'm going to take my MAC 242, which I feel is like one of the best shadows to pick up with a shimmery brush. And I don't know, what color should we go in with? I think I'm just going to be basic AF, and we're going to take this gold right here. And let's pop it. Yes, honey. Okay. Okay, Sephora. No fallout. Zero fallout, you guys. I'm taking this shade here, which is the first shade in the second row. And now I'm going to basically do the exact same thing on the lower lash line. Alright guys, so just based on first impressions, first use, first swatches, I feel like this palette is beautiful, you guys. You guys can definitely see that it does pick up a lot of powder on the whenever you go in with your brush, but when you apply it to the eyes, there is a zero fallout, you guys. It is a 28 beautiful, stunning, gorgeous eyeshadows, you guys. And just on swatches alone, there was only 2 that I felt like did not swatch really well, but I have not applied those to the eyes, so we'll definitely have to see how they apply to the eyes. But I am impressed. I feel like makeup artists, I feel like beauty lovers, beauty enthusiasts, somebody who is new into beauty will definitely get a lot of use out of this. As far as compared to the Natasha Denona palette, I think that yes, they are both a warm tone palettes, but I think that they are different enough to where if you wanted to purchase both, you could definitely purchase both. But at the same time, a person only needs so many warm tone eyeshadow palettes before it's like, okay, enough is enough. So I definitely think that if you wanted to get one or the other, I love Natasha Denona eyeshadows. I think they're absolutely amazing, and I do not think you would be disappointed if you wanted to pick up a palette like this if it does come back in stock. But I think that you would be pleasantly surprised by this palette as well, you guys. I think it is awesome. I think it is great. I was a little turned off by the $68 price point, especially for a Sephora palette, but I think it performed really, really well. The entire top row is like transition shades for light, medium, and deeper skin tone. So I feel like every person of every skin tone would be able to find some shades that would work as far as like transition shades. If you are on a little bit of the deeper end of things, you can go into this bottom row right here, and I think that some of those could even perform beautifully as transition shades. The pigment, I mean, just one more time, you guys, look at this. Okay, just one swipe across, not even a lot of pressure, and look at that. I mean, look, that is just unreal. That is beautiful, you guys. I think that this is worth it. I really do. Of course, opinions can always change with first impressions, you guys, because that's all they are, is a first impression. I have not used every shade on my eye yet, you guys, but I was just so excited. I wanted to get this video up for you guys. The fact that I was able to get my hands on it today and create a really easy look with it to show you guys that it can work on your eyes no matter your skill level. You can definitely make this work for you guys. I like it a lot, you guys. If you have the $68 to spend, let alone have the $68 to spend, if you want to spend the $68, this is absolutely beautiful. And of course, don't forget to always use Ebates. I was about to check out with Ebates to pick up this palette when I saw that my local Sephora actually had it in stock. So get a little bit of cash back, order it online if you want to, or if you're just like me and you couldn't wait, run to your nearest Sephora and grab it now. It wasn't supposed to be available until next week, but I guess Sephora stores were already starting to put them out, so they just kind of decided to go ahead and release them early. I like it, you guys. I really like it. I will keep you guys updated in the description box or in a future video. But I think it's good, you guys. I definitely do. So if you had your eye on this, now I definitely want to go back for the more cool toned one as well. I think that these performed really well on the eye. The pigmentation was even, blendable, beautiful, buttery, smooth, no patchiness. It didn't skip. The only downside, again, a little bit of a powdery formula, but you know what? Some of my favorite eyeshadows are a little bit powdery in the pan and apply beautifully to the eye. So I give this 2 thumbs up. If you guys were into this, if you guys were considering it, I say run to your nearest Sephora and pick it up. So yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it. That's my first thoughts and my first opinions on this particular palette. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.